maybe a 10-foot wave from outer peak on a 6'8". Big wave, like... Hello. I really do hope that you can hear me. It's all very exciting. Tiffany has a new cable, and fingers crossed, I've done a test run, just a short clip to see if this is all recording properly. Let's hope that the audio and the video is all synced up properly together. It's late. And yes, my friends, it is a Saturday evening and I am on my screens in the professional and creative workflow. This is what we are doing. So as you can see, I really do hope that this image is really clear and that the audio is really clear. As you can see, I am still figuring out the gist of how to figure out my, what do they call this? Like a desk arm to hold my Shure mic. I've been actually researching different desktop holders for my Shure mic, desktop mic holders, because this situation, this is actually now out of my face. It was usually up here, but now we're here. So because I'm just so excited, and it's been a little bit since last week since I haven't recorded any content. I actually was recording a really interesting video because I have a series that has a whole bunch of episodes which are coming out about big wave surfing in Uluwatu. Different things that I am specifically sharing when it comes to surfing these big swells at Ulu. And last week, actually, when we didn't have a big swell, I had lined up my 5 surfboard guns outside in the garden, and I was sharing all about my quiver that I have with my guns and the different brands they were, how much they cost, all the information. And then the video is actually going to still be for the gear that I use and the safety equipment that I use for surfing the big waves at Ulu. I was filming for 45 minutes and then I deleted all the clips from my SD card that was inside my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Luckily, I had already transferred the clips from days before onto my SSD, so I didn't lose any of that, just the 45 minutes of content that I had recorded. It's okay, because actually I probably didn't have my guns set up in a proper way to, get like the right angles and everything. I was a bit squished in my garden and it was very, very hot outside. Okay, it always happens like this. As soon as we turn the microphone on and I have everything set up, now I have a bikini walking across my desk that is underneath my camera. Bikini! I'm so grateful for the place and space where I'm at. And I want to share this video this evening because I'm really here to encourage and empower you to take a self-check-in. And I mean that when it comes to your mental health, your professional life, your creativity, your passions, your health, your friendships and relationships around you. And I encourage you to really question and ask yourself these very empowering questions. Are you living in alignment with your values? And are you placing boundaries where they need to be asserted? And are you involved with people, places, things which are serving you to be moving closer to your vision, to your dreams, for you to be showing up as your best self? And then to question, if you're not, then why not? So I've been doing a lot of reflection. I've had my head down. I've been staying in my own lane, minding my own business. My life has been, in the last couple of weeks, just absolutely focused all around surfing. We have had definitely some big wave days, and I have been in workflow. I actually managed to go out for dinner last night with my bestie, Lana, which was very, very nice. I had 1 glass of wine. I almost in 3 weeks have had not 1 glass of alcohol. And just in the last couple of days, I have had some chocolates. However, I have been not drinking alcohol. I had cut out all the processed refined sugars. I have been eating very clean. I have been in the workflow. I have and actually this week I actually got a little bit overwhelmed because I was very, 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 very tired from surfing the big swells. We've had some big days. I surfed 8 days in a row, and I woke up on the 9th day, which was a couple of days ago, and I was so tired. I could not get out of bed. I felt like I was 600 kg. So I actually took that day off and I got a massage and got into some workflow. And I surfed yesterday, however, today as well. Actually, this weekend they have the single fin surfing competition, and there's all these famous professional surfers and other very, very professional, amazing surfers that have been invited to compete in the single fin surfing competition. So you are not allowed to surf like in the main area, like racetrack and main peak for Ulu. You can surf at Secrets, or of course you can surf somewhere else. So today I took the day off. I actually had a nail appointment. Can you see? I'm not sure if that's focusing. Here we go. I had to take my nails off. It is now August 17th. I'm digressing all over here, but I will come back around to what I'm talking about. I actually ruined all my nails June 4th when I had my first jet ski toe-in surf lesson with Dolphin. It was 10 to 15 foot, and I thought, what a great day. It was decided. And Dolphin and I thought, what a great day to learn for the very first time to toe surf on his toe board out at Bommy at Uluwatu. Yes, I did, everybody. I didn't catch a wave that day because it was definitely my first time. There were 2 waves that I was on that was quite large waves. And I didn't know when to let go of the rope. I mean, how would I know? This was the very first time. It took me the majority almost of the time to go from laying in the water, then actually as the jet ski moved, to pull myself up and learn to stand up on the toe board before I even got to the wave. I mean, it was a whole thing. Anyway, I had really ruined my nails because I bashed them so extremely against the handle that you hold. I crushed them, and my nails are in just horrible condition, and they're just so, yeah, I ended up just today taking all my nails off, and I feel really exposed and naked. It was so much easier. I had so much more of less attachment to my hair, and I was ready to cut all my hair off, which reminds me I need to go get it cut again because it's so long and it's getting in my face, and I just like the feeling of short hair now. However, I was actually very attached to my nails, and it's such a new thing for me. But to be healthy, it's going to be good just to take a break and let my natural nails grow and them to be healthy and everything. However, I have just been so focused on my health and on, again, work. I am focused on creating, as we speak, editing. I have a lot of YouTube content to edit. That is a whole situation. And then I've been really focused on surfing. And as you would know, surfing, I'm exhausted. And on big days after big swell, it's actually funny. A couple of weeks ago, we had it wasn't so much like the Tuesday, but the Wednesday and Thursday the Wednesday wasn't big. The Thursday was bigger. And then the Friday was pumping. And then I kind of had some kind of normal days or still bigger days. I was on still a smaller board, and I went out on my 5'8", and it was still a little bit of size. And then we had a day where it was bigger, and I was checking the wave in the morning. This is actually, I vlogged this day. And then I went to go check the wave in the middle of the day at Bommy. There was nobody at Bommy. There was barely anybody in the lineup. And I had my 8.6, and it was really windy, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, why is nobody in the water? So I went, as I was leaving, I bumped into my friend Christian, who is the guy that who guided me into my first Bommy wave. And he said, oh, in a couple of hours, it's going to be really good at peak. And I was like, okay, so I'll just come back with at this stage, I had ended up, and if you've seen in the vlog before, I will link that vlog. It was from my July 17th vlog, that I ended up buying that Christensen 6'8" board. So I bought that, went home, thought, oh, maybe I'll first go to Balangan. But Christian had said, yes, there's going to be, it's going to be good at peak. So I went home, switched out my boards, got my warm wetsuit on, just brought back my semi-impact vest. And then I got back, I paddled out on this new board, which is a used board, but it was my first time paddling out. Still, it looked kind of big, and I knew the forecast said 8 to 12 foot, 16 seconds. It's it didn't really look that big yet. I paddled out. Yeah, there was nobody at peak. I went to outer peak. It started pumping as fuck. It was on Uluwatu was on. It started humping, like humping. And I was going nowhere near Bommy because I was only on a 6'8". Everybody was there on their biggest guns. And I was like, okay, it's okay. I'll just sit here at Outer Peak. I was undergunned. Even for Outer Peak, I was undergunned. However, I was like, well, I didn't even have my full impact suit on. I just had this impact vest on. But I thought, well, I'm here. I should try and go for something. Plus, it was very, 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 very windy. I took off on 2 waves. There were waves coming and I took off. In the end, I took off on 2 waves. I just put my head down and I took off on bigger bombs than I had the week before when I was surfing on my 8.0. Unfucking believable. It was so windy, blind takeoffs. I was just like, oh, I'm going. I put my head down and I paddled and I took off. The board is actually very cool. And I also bought new fins. I must have gotten like 10 foot, like maybe a 10-foot wave from Outer Peak on a 6'8". Big wave, like unbelievable. I mean, just amazing. It was amazing. And it's kind of interesting. That's something I will talk about a little bit, maybe not in this video, but maybe another time. I truly believe that when I'm surfing, that I am definitely attuned and in the frequency of source, like my pure source energy, because I know that I have physical skill and I know that I focus mentally what I need to do, but there is something very ethereal, very spiritual, very almost outer body, but I'm so outer body, but I'm so present to in my vibration and frequency that it's like, I know that it's me surfing, but it's also, I feel the most alive and the most connected to source, to spirit, to energy. I'm not yet quite sure how to put that properly into words, but I took off on 2 bombs. I was surfing the week before on an 8.0 and a 710, and I was taking off this afternoon 8 to 12 foot. The energy was almost 2,000. It was, I can't even emphasize enough. I just really hope that you understand that I took off on some bombs on that 6'8". I was so proud of myself. I was so grateful. I got in. I only took those 2 waves. I got in. I was in only an hour and a half. And I sat there at the warung and I drank a coconut and I looked out at these beautiful lines coming through, and it was sunset and there was spray coming off the top, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was like a dream sunset. And I remember, and I said this, and I actually recorded the content of a vlog. You'll get to see the vlog, that I always thought a few years ago when I used to watch sunset, and I would watch, if it was low tide, and I would watch like outside corner. And I was always thinking, I hope that I can one day, surf Uluwatu when it's really big, not just like in the daytime that I've been doing, like morning or lunchtime, but there's another different dynamic and special energy at sunset. And I came out and I surfed that, and I was so proud of myself. I felt so grateful. I was so overwhelmed. So it's really interesting. I really feel like, because I haven't been social, I had a coffee date with one of my besties last Sunday, and then I had a dinner with my friend and her daughter last night. However, I've just been so focused on being really clear with what are my values, what is my vision, and what do I need to be doing daily that's moving me closer to creating again now a business online, building my brand online, creating different streams of income, multiple streams of income online, right? Like I wish to diversify my income, different multiple streams of income online. I've been working on some digital products, and I also have come back into a new energy that I'm still figuring out the exact path and direction that I am going to step back into the previous business model that I was involved with last year. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I was involved with Inagic. It is a Japanese sustainable water technology manufacturer. and they manufacture ionized water machines, which is alkalized water. It's antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory. It's like the best water to consume and to drink and to use in your home or your office or wherever you have one of the machines. And so it's obviously like a conscious, sustainable product. It's amazing for your health and for the planet. And then also, yes, it does come with a killer compensation plan. Now, previously, if you've been following me, I was sharing absolutely everything about how to build a business online, how to create wealth online through my Instagram. And also, if you've been following me, you will have watched the videos. I was in a 90-day run with the online community that I used to be a part of. And it was coming towards the end of September, coming towards the end of our big wave season, and I was fucking tired. And then in a nutshell, I had a bunch of tech problems that happened. Had my Facebook account hacked. I had my credit card, fake Facebook ads went up. So I had my credit card closed down. My business, Facebook business page got shut down. My Facebook personal page got shut down. I was having a bunch of tech issues. I was promoting an online event. I mean, you name it, shit was hitting the fan big time. And at the same time, I was so tired from surfing, from all the big swells. I was really tired. And so at the time, I took a couple of days off because I was like, okay, I need to rest. And then that turned into a week. It turned into 10 days. It ended up turning into a couple of weeks. And then I was like, you know what? I did some major self-reflection. I thought, for now, I'm just going to step away. And I've done that now for almost 11 months, end of September, October, December, January, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, it's been like almost a year. So if we're coming towards the end, we're halfway through August. It's been like almost 12 months that I had to step away from that business model because for what I feel at the time, at the place and space where I was at professionally, financially, creatively, just where I was in myself, mentally, energetically, spiritually, everything that I was putting into that business, the ROI wasn't as I expected it to be and working in the timeline that I thought it should be. So I stepped away, and it's only until now that I have decided to step back into the business. Now, of course, I'm not sharing the business right now on my Instagram. I'm going to be obviously sharing things here with my YouTube because YouTube is actually my full-time focus. Right now, I am just sharing surfing things on my Instagram, my waves and different things on my Instagram. However, I'm a lot more personal and educational and hopefully entertaining here on my YouTube channel. Hopefully you're gaining a lot of value here. And of course, I hope that also you are gaining a lot of value from my Instagram as well. And so I'm still yet decided in what way I'm going to be sharing more just about how the product, is definitely one of my secrets to my anti-aging and to energy and to, a couple other things that you've seen me share about here on my channel. However, I just recently in the last few days, I've just had a new opportunity come up and I was like, okay, I definitely need to step back in and focus how I will also show up to really build my business so that I can again focus on creating wealth. And why do I want to create wealth? So that I'm able to support the dreams that I have. And I encourage this for you that because I have in the last month, I've just finished editing a vlog that I filmed July 17th. I have so many vlogs to edit. I can't even tell you how much work I have to do. I've been also busy at the times when I'm not absolutely exhausted again from these big swells. I mean, we've had 8 to 12 foot days, 8 to 10 foot days, 6 to 8 foot days, a couple 5 to 7 foot days, maybe a few 4 to 6 foot days. We've had just big swell, which I am so grateful that we finally in August have big swells. And we do for the next couple of weeks. We have plenty of 8 to 10 foot days. Let me have a look at this is just a side note. Let me look at my phone. We have at my surf forecast. Let's see. And of course, the forecast changes, but it gives you a little bit of a guesstimate, Yeah, starting from Monday the 19th, 8 to 10 foot. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it just changed again. Oh, so funny. We have 3 8 to 10 foot days. 6 to 8 foot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 days. We have a lot. Big swells. I'm so grateful. However, as you know, I'm not 22 years old anymore. I get tired at the end of the day. And then because I've been on my screens, I've got a lot of work to do. However, I just want to share, and I encourage you that, again, this is a main message that I am always encouraging and reiterating and emphasizing for you, is to take some time, prioritize time in your day, in your week, to stop, take a pause, and to self-check in, to allow yourself to audit yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, your health, and to reflect, am I living in alignment with what I truly desire? Am I taking steps daily, weekly, monthly towards moving closer to the dreams that I desire? Am I living in alignment with the values that I have? Do I even know what I value? You know, these are questions, empowering questions that you should ask yourself, so that you're not just caught up in the chaos of everything and everybody around you. And because I personally, and I encourage this for you in a way that's going to be aligned and nuanced and personal and individual for you, allow yourself to choose for yourself, to take a moment to step away and just to cut out the noise and just focus on yourself for a moment and figure it out. What are you doing in your life? And are you moving closer to those dreams? Because let me tell you, I haven't been social. Of course I've been social when I'm going surfing. And then I've just really, if I see someone and I'm at a cafe and I'm working. However, I've just had my head down, minding my own business, focusing on the things that I desire to create. Hello. I do apologize. All these little funny things that happen. I've really just focused and been just in my own lane, just doing what I love to do, which is I love creating. I love building a business again and creating and brainstorming the different ways and the different things, how I'm going to market and what I'm going to sell and how I'm going to show up and what do I need to do to build my personal brand and what's all the tech gear. I mean, that's the tech talk, Tiff's tech talk. Nobody's teaching me all of this tech stuff. I'm watching a bunch of YouTube reviews and reading a bunch of blog articles and Pinterest articles about which cable I need and what video settings and what light and how many kelvins is the light. I mean, nobody's teaching me any of this. However, it's a matter of, if nobody's going to build your dreams, nobody's going to change you. Nobody's going to bring you everything that you desire just on a gold platter, silver platter. It's up to you. If it really matters to you, you will take self-responsibility and ownership to do whatever it takes to achieve what you wish to achieve success in. And if you don't, then it doesn't really matter to you and it's not a priority. So I think for me, I just recognize, and it's for you also, I encourage for you, what are you prioritizing in your life? And are you focusing on things that are not bringing you closer to being a better version of yourself, to being the healthiest version of yourself, to being the most energetic, radiant, alive version, best version of yourself? Are you truly being involved with people and things that are serving you for your best self and moving you closer to your dreams? And if you're not, well, then why not? Because there's only so much laying around and only so much procrastination and only so many lunches and coffees and doing fuck all. It's not going to bring you any closer. And that's a whole conversation we could have. I mean, people can become so complacent, and it's different to being in a joyful contentment, in a blissful contentment. What is the word? Is it santosha? Okay, one moment here. Here we go. Such a yogi at heart, aren't I? And so the Sanskrit term for contentment is santosha. So santosha is the second niyama, and this is described in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. it denotes contentment and a lack of desire for what others have. The term is derived from the Sanskrit sam, meaning completely or altogether, and tosha, meaning contentment or acceptance. Altogether, it may be translated as complete contentment. Don't you want to move into a place and space and realm and vortex of santosha, of complete contentment? Now that's different to complacency. Complacency. Okay, let's break down complacency. Complacency. A feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. A feeling of quiet pleasure or security, often while unaware of some potential danger, defect, or the like. So it's almost like, it's not necessarily complacency is like ignorance, because ignorance is bliss, but it's like just being complacent is living like life from like a half full glass. Is like, just like complacency is just like settling. Who the fuck wants to settle? And here's the thing, you will come from a place of complacency and lack because you do not know or are not in your worth. And I've been having a few different conversations. I had a conversation with my mother the other day and had a conversation with another friend of mine that, or maybe it's like I'm like journaling, or maybe I even did like a talking head video, but it's come up for me something that I'm at a phase in my life, and maybe you are also at this phase, or maybe by hearing this is going to activate you or even trigger you in some way. That don't you want to be showing up in life from a place of like meaning and purpose, and be creating a life of impact and service to others? So that ultimately, in order for us, our own selves, to achieve greatness and to step into our full potential, to achieve the extraordinary, to achieve the impossible, don't you want to be like doing everything that you can to be in that extraordinary life and show up from an empowered, confident, worthy place? And if you're not, then it isn't it time that you, or maybe it's not, that's the thing, that you look at your life and yourself and think, if I'm not happy here, then like, you can change that. And it only begins, and it all begins when you start behaving differently and when you become self-aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And I'll link the video up here about how change actually starts with the power of self-awareness first. Because I truly believe that we are all gifted our life here, and we're all chosen, and we're actually built for greatness. But somewhere along the lines, whether it was society, whether it was your parents, whether it's culture, whether it was an ex-boyfriend, a best friend, that somewhere along the line, your light got dimmed. And then you bury yourself in these layers. And then you're just living this complacent life, settled, thinking that this is what I should be doing because others say. And it's been very empowering for me. And it's almost been, because I haven't been social, I've been spending a lot more, like, obviously if I'm not in the water surfing, or if I'm not sitting in a whole cafe of people, even if I'm sitting in a whole cafe of people, I just have my head down and I'm fully focused on doing everything that I can to achieve the dreams that I desire and to be moving closer towards everything that I've talked about before. Because when you talk about and it's important to use your words to speak into existence about what you truly wish to desire, what your goals, what your dreams are. But not only speaking the words, but then speaking the words and then taking action on what you actually say. So walking your talk. And I feel like that in this last month, by putting my head down, that I have been focused almost every day. There were a couple of days I got back from surfing and I was just, because I surfed 2 sunsets in the afternoons and the day, I did a little bit of workflow, but I was checking waves and, surfing was taking up a lot of time. And there was probably 2 days in the last week where I was like, I just need to shower and eat and just like pass out. And actually one day after the second big day that I had, because I knew it was this is always what happens to me on big days. that I cannot sleep. I get very tired and my body feels heavy and I'm very tired. And then I eat and I'm even more comatose. However, I don't sleep until later because I can still feel the adrenaline and the vibration. I don't know what it is. Is it dopamine? Is it like oxytocin? Like what is it after big swells that is like pumping through my vibe? I mean, I was so grateful. I had the most amazing waves on that. I don't even remember what day it was, but the day I just explained before, it was pumping as fuck and I couldn't sleep. But those 2 days, and then the following day, like I had another big day and then I got on my screens and I could barely, my eyeballs also were sunburned. You always hear about my sunburned eyeballs. And I was working on my strings and doing everything I can because I'm at this place and space in my life where it's like I just know what I want now. And I'm in my worth and my confidence to be showing up, whether it's online, whether it's in the water, whether it's just in my day-to-day interactions, that I'm finally, like I feel confident and empowered. And don't get me wrong, there are moments now when I am in my human and I feel insecure and I feel not good enough and I feel not smart enough and I have these self-limiting beliefs that come up. And these are moments and these come in small waves and then they pass because now I actually am in my worth. And that's a powerful thing for me to say because before, up until before, I would only have moments where I felt confident. I would only have moments where I felt empowered. I would only have moments where I felt worthy. But now it's switched because I've been focused so much since I had my burnout last year. And this year I've been more focused only up until recently. I've been more focused on my own personal development than I was building a business and working online and focused on my professional and my financial life. And that's the thing. That's the conversation I was having, I remember now with my previous business partner, that it's all well and done to have amazing business skills, marketing skills, social media skills, like all the masculine, all the strategy, all that side of a business, to build a business online, to create a brand online, to create an income online, to have multiple streams of income online. However, you cannot do any of that if within yourself you don't believe in yourself and you don't think that you're capable of creating the success that you desire. And that's what I now truly recognize, that I was doing all the things to learn all the skills that I needed to work online and build a business online, and for everything to do with affiliate marketing, social media marketing, sales. I mean, you name it. I had thrown myself in full time to learn everything I could for that business. But at the end of the day, even though I felt like I had grown in an exponential way since I came out of the relationship that I was in for almost 2 years, and I ended that end of April last year, like a long time ago now. And yes, I've had relationships since then. However, that was, yes, a major growth period. But now I'm very grateful that I have taken the time for myself to live my life and do what I've needed to do. And I'm very grateful that I've been in a position to do that. And I'm not saying that you need to do that. I'm not saying that you need to do this or you need to do that. I'm just encouraging you and always showing up as somebody that's sharing my own personal insights. And then for you to be watching the video now, to take what I share and then to allow yourself to reflect that back onto you to see how that's going to work for you, right? But I was able to, this is what you can do, is, take my time to like figure out what it is that I truly want in my life and how the person that I want to be and the kind of business that I want to be involved with and how I want to continue to make money, create wealth and, what I want to do with my surfing, my creativity, my health, like all the things. And I think when you take the time to just stop and do that self-reflection and have that awareness and dive really deep into the personal development and really unpack all those uncomfortable, confronting different layers that you've built up over the years and the patterns that you have and the beliefs that don't serve you. When you really unpack that and explore that, and then you accept it, and then you do what you can to learn how to process that and to release things and let that go, then you've actually created the space and built up your worth and your confidence. And then you can come from that empowered place to then move forward and create the success where you need to create the success in your life. because it all starts from within first. And I guess I haven't seen it because I'm so in it, but I've been doing amazing things when it comes to my surfing. And I realize that I don't now compare myself to anybody that's in the lineup with me or any of my friends or anybody on the internet or anybody. I like to admire and I'm inspired by other surfers around me. However, when it's me out in the lineup, it's me versus me. And it's me versus me yesterday. It's me versus me last year. I'm only comparing myself to me. And it feels amazing because I've actually been getting some really incredible waves. And I've only been doing this now, as you know, for 4.5, not even 5 years, and only surfing big waves at Uluwatu. I've surfed other big waves at Impossibles and Balangan, and I've shared about this. However, Uluwatu is a whole nother dynamic there. Of course, if you surf at Uluwatu, you would know. And so I've only been surfing these big waves at Uluwatu since June last year. And I'm so proud of myself. And I can confidently say that I've been just doing amazing things and catching amazing waves. And other days, I don't get waves. And other days I have epic wipeouts. But it's all part of the process. And now, again, I really wish to emphasize that because I've taken this time to get really clear with what do I value and what is my vision, and now what do I need to do on my own personal level, because I've been working on that. What do I still need to continue to do to develop from within? But what do I need to do now to take the steps to be able to create some of these wild, crazy dreams that I have for creating wealth, for creating business, for being creative? And that's what I've been doing. And it feels amazing. It's a process. I haven't straight away, created I don't have all the videos that I filmed up online straight away. I don't have my podcast launch. I don't have a team yet helping me create my certain, all my digital products and editing for me and virtual assistants and personal assistants. I don't have all of that, but it's on the way and all is coming. And it's all happening and it feels so good. I feel like now that I'm really in alignment with my values and that I'm really showing up to create impact and to serve with purpose and to show up and be a light so that ultimately I'm impacting in the most positive way the conscious collective, that we as a conscious collective can be better within ourselves and create a better world. Now, that may sound a little bit woo. However, I believe that, again, in order for us to have a beautiful world and to be beautiful people, it's got to start within us first. The change, the transformation, the shifts, that needs to start from within first. And that's what I've done. And now, from that energy and frequency and vibration and that empowered place is how I'm showing up to do what I need to do. And yes, everything's going to unfold in divine timing. And I've let go of any timeline of I need to have achieved this in my financial life, or I need to have achieved this in my professional life, or I should have been now already married again, or a family, or the house, or whatever my own goals are. And you can reflect this for you as well. When you can actually come from and show up from that empowered place because you've done the work and you've been through a bunch of fucking shit and you've had to figure it out. Because if you don't figure it out, here's the thing. You just keep going around in a circle and in toxic cycles. And I've seen that for myself. I've seen that for my friends. I've seen that from, we all know we get caught up in this this spiral, this whirlpool of constant, repetitive, toxic patterns that just can go on for years and decades. And if you don't change that, then it just stays the same. And fuck that. I don't want my life to be, and myself and my business and all the different realms and key focus areas of my life, I don't want it to be the same as before. And in order for things to change, you've got to do things differently. But until you can understand that, it's never going to change. And me showing up today as well, or whatever you listen to on YouTube or a podcast or a book or audiobook or a blog article, whatever digital forms of media or whatever friend or therapist or whoever is sharing things with you, if you don't start to embody the change and shift from within yourself, then nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And I see that. I didn't change for a long time with certain things in my life. And of course, I still have, a bunch of, unconscious, which I'm trying to bring consciousness to, but unconscious, toxic patterns that I have. And I see that with other friends. And I think there's only so much that, of course, you always try to share with your friends or your family or whoever. But at the end of the day, it's on you. It's on you to make the changes. And that's just where I've been now in the last Bikini Munchkin. Miss Bikini, did you want to come say hello? How do you feel about not being a single parent, having your 4 kittens at home? Oh, here we go. Miss Bikini, come here. Are you hungry? If you've been watching my videos, you will know. Oh my gosh, Bikini with your fluffy tail just moved the camera. Hello. Hello there. We can keep recording because I now have a battery dummy. You have something to say? How do you feel about being a single parent? However, I'm very much here to take care of you. You don't pay rent. I feed you. You live in a beautiful luxury villa. You get to go outside and play in the garden every day in the sun. You get all the best food, 8 to 12, 15 times a day. Kangen water, 9.5 every day. How do you feel about this? Oh, you didn't have anything to say? Did you go shy? Miss Bikini? I lost my train of thought for a moment. I just really encourage you that anything is possible. Yes, it's going to take time. Whatever the time is, it's divine time. But you actually get to speed up your own time and close that gap of where you are now to where you desire to be. If you actually take the time to do some personal development, to step into your worth, to recognize, be aware of, and live in alignment with your values, to assert the boundaries where they need to be, and to take action. And no, it doesn't mean that you need to be really extreme when it comes to doing certain things, but be moving in a very intentional way towards living the life and being the best self that you can be every single day. Because why not? It's like when you actually, and it doesn't actually, when you're doing what you love, then it doesn't feel like work. I'm truly in a place in my life where I'm showing up to surf. And here's an interesting thing. Going back to the business that I have is that I want to be able to curate the way that I show up and I run my business in my own style and vibe. And I got told a very long time ago that surfers don't make any money and nobody takes you seriously because you're in a bikini and, certain things like this. And it's I'm not here for everybody and I'm not here to please everybody. And I think that's actually important when you can actually repel the people that aren't in alignment and relate to you, or that your message or how you show up doesn't resonate. It's better to repel the people that are not your tribe, that are not your vibe, because just by always showing up, whether it's online, whether it's in the lineup, whether it's offline in your daily life, if you just show up as you are, then just allow what the universe and what the world brings to you in a natural ease and flow state. Because everything is happening to you for a reason. And the things that are meant to be will stay around. And the people that are meant to be there to teach you a lesson, hopefully you learn your lesson, or the situations that show up, hopefully you learn your lessons. But everything is happening because it's supposed to. And the less resilient, the less resistant that you can be, you're actually becoming more resilient. The less resistant that you can be, and just to be more in an accepting and open place, ready to receive what shows up for you in the day, what the world shows to you, people, places, things that come to you. Okay, I do apologize. We had a cat situation, a number 2 situation all over the floor. Is this what it's like for parents when they have their baby and then all of a sudden the baby does a big number 2, or they projectile vomit everywhere? Cat parenting, and I'm sure human parenting. Whew. Except the furry babies and your children are all some of the greatest blessings in your life. Again, I'm just losing my track of thought, but I just really wanted to share with you, and my desire here, my intention here is for you always to, this is the main thing that I always wish to, my main message, which I'm always encouraging for you, is that you can change your life. It starts with you. And yes, maybe you need to take a course or get a mentor or read a book, or there are all the different multiple ways that I share here on my channel with, different things that you can do to change your life. But I definitely have seen that by living my life now and the activities, the ways that I show up in certain areas, and what I'm doing with my health and for work and for surfing, and just different ways that I'm showing up, the different ways that I'm showing up from a different place, my life has changed. And maybe, of course, again, like you don't necessarily maybe see that externally. I mean, yes, you can. If you see some of the waves that I'm getting, or if, right now I'm creating content and there's tangible things that you can actually see in the reality. But it's this frequency and it's this feeling that is very, very powerful. And I'm so standing firm in my values and what I believe in. And I have faith that the dreams that I have and the goals that I have, and that my husband and the life and everything that I desire, that it's all on the way, that I know that everything's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And I'm very confident in that now. And that feels good. There's a different sensation. And yeah, of course, I'm not in this high vibe every day. As I said again, at the end of the day after surfing after I've eaten, I'm so tired. I also was a little irritated. I got a Gojek today because I went to Canggu and I had my nail appointment there, and then I actually was working at a cafe, and then anyway, I got a Gojek over, and my Gojek driver was braking all the time, and I was almost getting sick in my stomach. I was getting a little bit irritated. I'm not saying that my life is so perfect and everything is just rainbows and kittens and sunshines every day, and it's because this is still life. However, I am choosing to, because I am now in the awareness of what I believe in and what I value, and of my own value and my worth and my confidence, I'm able to show up from a different place. And yes, there are different situations and signs, I believe, from the universe that my manifestations are starting to unfold and come into my reality. And I was listening to this on Kathleen Cameron's call the other day, that in order to attract what you desire, in order to create what you desire, what your goals are, what these manifestations are, you need to be able to show up in the moment, daily, already in the feeling and the vibration of that which you already wish to achieve. And I feel that now, because yes, haven't achieved all the success yet. However, I know that it's on the way, and that I am seeing now different things that are showing up in my life, in my days, of what's manifesting, and it's powerful. And it's funny, there was this could be a whole nother video. There was this reel that one of the photographers from Canggu had filmed of me wiping out after a swell a couple of weeks ago. And what's really interesting, I created on May ages ago, May 5th, I created a funny, a couple of different pictures of me wiping out. And I said, I put the caption on the Instagram story, I'm claiming it already. Best wipeout of the year at Uluwatu 2024 is me. And what's really funny is this reel has gone viral. And now there are two people this week, one account that used the sound and has remade the video, and then another very nice Brazilian guy who's a surf coach. He's made a video. It's very honored, sharing about my big wave surfing, and I have a custom gun, and it's all about mindset. And it's actually incredible that now, just because of what I love to do and the way that I'm showing up and how I like to share, online about mindset and yoga and spiritual practices, then I'm actually getting recognized for that. And it's not that I also need that external validation, because for a very, very long time in the past, it is now and it will be in the future, that I am very connected to my spiritual practices, and I am very much a yogi, and I'm very much into meditation, and I do talk about woo-woo things. I'm not the surfer that is like pumping weights at the gym, and that's the way that I'm approaching like my surfing, in a very athletic way. Yes, surfing is very athletic. It is very physically demanding. However, I don't live my life in this like workout way to like surf. I live my life and support my surfing with my spiritual practices. And my spiritual practice, one of them is obviously doing a yoga practice almost pretty much daily. That is my workout, because I don't work out. Now, look, I know that I'm rambling. However, it's just kind of interesting to see that because I've been showing up in the last few weeks and showing up online and showing up in person when I'm obviously offline and I'm in my daily interactions, because I am very clear now with how I want to be living my life and who I wish to be choosing my time with. And, the thing is if I'm so intentional now with who and what I spend my time and my energy on, because I don't have time for everyone and everything. And that's okay. I think it's very important to become very intentional and clear with who you want to spend your time and what you want to be spending your time with. And before I was, for ever since I came out of my business and just kind of like this year, and I was dating and social and this and that, my energy was so scattered. But it's almost like I don't regret anything. I've needed time to just live and be and like figure out like, what I'm doing with my life. And now that I have even greater clarity around like my vision and my purpose and what I wish to create and who I want to be in service to and be in service of myself, that's powerful. And you can also get to a place like this as well. And this is what all my content is. I'm sharing, my desire is to share all this value with you and all my insights, and my dharma is to really impact you in a very positive way so that you also can shift from within and be living an extraordinary life and showing up from an empowered place within yourself. Because when you do, magic can happen. And it's not just by coincidence. You actually get to direct and create and manifest all that you truly wish to desire. And I can't tell you how long that's going to take and unfold for you. And I can't say exactly like, this is going to happen for me here, this, and then. But it's by actually, this is what I was reading, by actually moving towards and showing up, moving towards what you wish to create and who you wish to be. It's in the doing that actually, if what you first think that you desire and it doesn't show up for you, then that's not meant for you. But you're already in the action of moving towards and being in that conscious state of being as you move towards what you wish to desire. Because if you don't achieve the goal that you think like, oh, I want this, and then you're doing everything to get to that, but you don't get to that, it's like maybe that wasn't meant for you. But in the process of you showing up in a certain way and taking certain aligned and inspired action and being with faith and coming from that empowered, confident, worthy space and having fun, it's all about having fun, then you're actually like being who you need to, you're actually like being already what you wish to create and who you wish to be. Because by being in that conscious state of being and taking that action, you are actually going to attract and attune to what's meant for you. And again, this is moving off into like my woo-woo talk, but it's what I truly embody and believe in and that I encourage for you. So I'm going to wrap this up because this ended up being a very long talking head video. And I really do thank you so much for watching this video. I would love it if you support my channel and subscribe. If you subscribe for more value, fun, and vibe. And if you liked the video, which I hope that you loved it, give it a thumbs up. And anything that you have, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next video. Thank you. Good night.